Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the SYDNEY Sevens, and this time we've got a men's match, the opening game for the men of this competition. Ireland taking on Samoa. It's going to be an absolute ripper of a contest. These two sides both have the potential to win. Ireland getting knocked out in the quarterfinals last week. Samoa, they did find themselves finishing ninth overall in the Hamilton Sevens, but they'll be looking to improve definitely after getting themselves the Cape Town first place medal when they were playing not too long ago. Looking through at the previous 5 meetings, we have actually seen these sides only play off 4 times in the past, and it's actually 2-2. So either side could win it. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments in the chat. But looking through at Samoa's starting lineup, it will be Va'a, Apelo Maleko, Valvasa Afasua, the 2 co-captains, both in that starting lineup. Motu Opitai gets the opportunity at number 4. Paul Scanlon, Tuna Tuitama, one of the young and up-and-coming players of the Samoan team. Fa'afoi Falaniko and Nueli Letufia, the last man in the starting lineup. Then for the Irish, it is going to be Harry McNulty, Aaron O'Sullivan, Noel Comerford, Jordan Conroy, Terry Kennedy, a speedster who can certainly score tries for fun, Mark Roach and Brian Mullen there as well. 134, come on, says Tracy, and also we get the hey Hamish, big up Samoa, and let's go Manu, says Teula in the chat as well. But looking through at the bench, there's some excitement for the Samoans. For the first time in quite some time, we get to see Malani Matavao in action. Unfortunately, he did get himself injured quite some time ago. He's been slowly on the rest and recovery path, and now he's actually going to get the crack for the Samoans. Also a new name on the bench, BJ Lima, getting added in. That is due to the injury that we did see. I believe he's replacing, at this point, I want to say that it's Yuna Sioni. Unfortunately, he won't be available. The shop used to be Cartwright's Men's Hairdressers at 3 a.m. Monday. Someone driving a milk truck fell asleep on the wheel, hit a parked car before smashing into the building, says Kiwi Gamer. So that is the one next to Peter Pit, I think you said earlier on. But now, this game about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, do let me know your score predictions in the comments. The Samoans will be receiving the kickoff from the Irish to get us underway in Sydney. The ball's gone high to this bottom side of the field, nicely taken. A little bit of a miscommunication between Samoa jumping for it, but they have still been able to regather nicely. Valvasa Afasua goes across to the youngster Tuitama, now inside of their own 22 here. Samoa looking to be physical early. Big bump off of Mark Roach. Unfortunately, he's been taken down twice. Complained to the referee for something. I think he was just maybe upset that he missed 2 tackles in a row. Asking for some sort of penalty. Letufia, he's knocked that ball on for Valvasa Afasua. Now Ireland with the ball in hand. And it is going to be Aaron O'Sullivan goes back across. McNulty, wide cut out pass to Terry Kennedy. Now I mentioned this man's pace. Beautiful step and nice fin to go with it. Tackled by Valvasa Afasua. This one's going to be a fast-paced game, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Roach, ball on the outside. Now Comerford with the nice fend. Driving the legs here. A little bit closer to the try line, now just outside of the 22. Here come the Irish again. Nice pass across from Comerford, McNulty. Now Mullen goes on the inside again. It just seems a little bit stagnant for Ireland at the moment. They are still making a couple metres in the process though. McNulty, he's got Terry Kennedy on his inside, so he does offload it, who gives it off to Conroy, the quick stepping Irishman. Now one more pass off to Comerford again. Wide cut out pass. Both sides very even at the moment, just like we saw in the previous results. 2 wins per team up to the 22. Now for Ireland, almost won by Samoa in the breakdown, but they said no clear release. The penalty goes the way of the Irish. Great low tackle made. Mark Roach now goes across to Jordan Conroy. Hardly had any stoppages throughout the first minute and a half. The quick tap just before the only one. There we have seen now Terry Kennedy. Passes on the outside. Bit of space. Kicked him behind here by O'Sullivan. Waits for it to bounce, but it's going to be taken nicely by Falaniko. Almost took it too casually in the end. And also go, boys, says Jason. And also go also, all the best, says King T. And also 28-7 for the Samoans. And it looks like there might be an injury here for Falaniko. Unfortunately, looks like he might have landed awkwardly in the process of trying to stop that try of the Irish. But the position has been pretty much in Ireland's favour ever since that first drop ball of Valvasa Afasua. And in our, hang on, that was close to a try for the Irish, but just sneaking at Falaniko of Fa'amalosi also. There's a Sangi there. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And currently in this match, the Irish, I mentioned it in my preview, They need more position, whether it is going into more breakdowns, risking leaving space on the outside. Just showing the replay again. Falaniko still just got the hand down in time. But yeah, if they can get that position a little bit more, all of a sudden Samoa could find themselves scoring 2 or 3 extra tries per game. It's just having about 30% position in a contest doesn't seem to be what Samoa need going forward. It's going to be a 22 dropout now. Falaniko, the man who forced the ball inside of the in-goal area, will be a drop kicking this one as far as he can. Tell you what, he struck that one absolutely beautifully. It's almost down to the Irish 22. Favourable bounce as well. Now Jordan Conroy, he's got all of the field to look at and decide where he's going to try and run through. Great low tackle, mate. Fell the wrong way. Samoa's penalty. 40 metres out. Now, Pilo Maliko takes the quick tap. I'm not sure if Ireland were back to 10, but they say play on. Scanlon. Now ball on the outside. This is looking good. Afasua. One more. Tatuna. Tuitama close to the touchline. Just offloads it in the field of play. Brilliantly done by Letufia to get the offload to Scanlon. Double step and Samoa going for the first of the match. And that felt like a very long 3 minutes of this contest. Both sides throwing absolutely everything at their opposition, but it is Paul Scanlon, the Samoan number 10, who eventually is able to get through. It's great defense out wide. Tuna Tuitama, though, good strength from him to stay on the field of play. Same could be said about Letufia, and then the quick step and double from Paul Scanlon. Breaks through, scores the try, and Samoa now take the lead 5-0. Now, we saw a massive drop kick from Falaniko. Is he the one doing the drop kicks here? Because if he is, he hasn't struck it that well. Almost smacks a Spanish player in the head with the ball. They do play them later on, maybe intentional. I doubt it though, but Scanlon scoring the first try, unsuccessful conversion, and Seki also finally there's a Sangi there. Yes, Samoa, they'll be happy to take the first points of this game. They need to keep their foot on the gas though, put them under pressure, the Irish, as they are a side that if you let them be close late in a contest, they can find a way of winning it. It's knocked on by Harry McNulty, then knocked on by Letufia. So the double knocked on, but the referee said play on. How has that worked? That was an extremely quick knock-on advantage, if that was an advantage against the Irish. But Jordan Conroy is going to have this ball. They do play on. It's slapped out of their hands. Another advantage goes the way of the Irish. And now Comifit trying to go one-on-one with Paul Scanlon. Does get him down in the end, and it's Motu Opitai does join the breakdown. Now off to the left-hand side, Jordan Conroy to Roach. 45 metres out at the moment here. And it's going to be Molan. Knock on that time from Ireland. Yes, the referee has called that one. It will now be the Samoan scrum fair. Come on, ref. Says Asangi. I should mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got plenty more Samoan matches coming up in the near future. The next game will be up against the USA. And that will be tomorrow morning. We've also got 2 more men's matches that we will be covering later on tonight, a little bit later on in this afternoon. South Africa, Kenya at about 5 p.m. And then the last game will be Tonga versus Fiji. That's going to be a good game. Hard-hitting affair. Both sides walking away with a few bruises, I would think. Now 2 minutes left in this first half. Time is back on. And it will be Noeli Letufia to put the ball in for the Samoans. Normally a very strong scrum. It's going to be fed in and well hooked. They've got this ball 40 metres out from their line, and it's a good run from Letufia. They ended up running in behind one of his teammates. Scanlon finds the offload to Tuna Tuitama, who has knocked the ball on. Now giving it to Jordan Conroy. Trying to hang on to that ball behind him. It's going to be another advantage. They go back for the Irish scrum. And Samoa in there from Rose the Unicorn with the Samoan flags in there as well. I feel like a lot of Samoan supporters, they feel like Sydney's where the redemption comes from for Samoa. They did end up winning in Cape Town, finishing first. They finished 9th last week in the Hamilton Sevens. It wasn't as high as Samoa would have liked. They were in an extremely tough group. They had in their group, it was, I've already forgotten, but I know that they had France and they had Fiji and then also Kenya. So those are not easy contests. This week, they've got Ireland in their group. They will also have a later match coming up against the USA, another side that made a fire in the competition. We've got a donation. I think that's the first Sevens donation. We've got Xavier. I'm loving the Melbourne Rebels flag as well. Of course, you go into a lot of their games this year. Terry Kennedy down the wing, but thank you very much, mate. Very hugely appreciated. Conroy, he was injured just before, but he's just scored for Ireland. Or has he? They're going to have to go upstairs for this one. It was just a wide backline pass from the Irish going on this near side of the field. And Conroy just using that leg drive. Duarte wiping the sweat off his brow, the Portuguese referee. It's been a lot to think about for this game, that is for sure. And I think we'll be live at the same time. Let's go Samoa, says Brandon, and also Samoa Chahu. Does he get it? He sure does, and that will be the try to the Irish. A very important kick coming up here now for Ireland. Could be a tough one. And also, would more Samoans live in Australia or New Zealand? Ooh, great question. I know that if we're talking regions of New Zealand, I know Auckland has quite a few Samoans living up there. Whereas they mentioned that Sydney's actually quite a popular spot for a few Samoans to live in. So I would say just due to pure population, Australia might have it in terms of the exact number, but percentage-wise, I'd say New Zealand probably take it in terms of percentage of Samoans living with the population of New Zealand compared to Samoans living in Australia with their population type thing. New Zealand probably says Rose the Unicorn. It's going to be kicked off high. Waiting for this one to come down. Samoa find themselves 2 points down. It was an absolutely brilliant conversion from Mark Roach. It's the halftime siren. Here comes Va'apila Maleko trying to step through. Comerford was unsuccessful in his tackle attempt. Ball off to Vavas Afasua. Hit him in the shins. This time he's knocked it on. And Ireland will have the advantage. They've picked the ball up cleanly. Here comes Mullen. Up the middle of the field. Mullen, he's going to be a hard man to stop her. Here comes Tuna Tuitama. Wrestles him down 5 meters out from the line. They've called an advantage, I believe. That's for a high tackle. Conroy for the corner. Does score the try here as well. I think Fiji versus Samoa in the final. I say Fiji will fight back the Sevens. Says Brandon and come on Samoa. But unlucky there. For Samoa just conceding that try right at the end of the first half. Comerford. He was looking to be in support. They've called it a high tackle. A little bit unlucky for that one, Tuna Tuitama. But Jordan Conroy, all class out wide, scores the try as well. We have got there, Sania. Is that a winking face? It might be a winking face in there. And also, bro, Manu Samoa, please score, says Rose. And no, says Rose as well. Big kick. Huge kick, misses. Okay, so that will remain at 12 points to 5 at the moment now in favour of the Irish. Samoa, they should be able to fight back in the second half. They've got the potential. They've got the talent. They just need to get it right for the next 7. There are Samoans all over. Australia, says Peter Stowers, and Ireland might as well win, bro. Says Rose, although early on, Samoa, to make it through to the quarterfinals, they need to make sure they either beat Ireland or they beat the USA, and then they beat Spain comfortably. That's the other part of the equation. They've got to make sure that they get it right. If they don't, it's going to hurt. And that's there's lots of New Zealand as well, says Rose. I feel like it's always awesome watching the amount of support that Samoa show their rugby union, rugby league, rugby sevens side. It's always the passion is the word on everyone's mouth. And, you know, sometimes that passion can help you out. Like they were saying, Samoa, it's been 6 years since they were able to take out a title. And then they were able to do it in Cape Town, wins New Zealand's game. Bro, they actually play very soon, I believe, New Zealand. We aren't covering their game, but they are playing Uruguay as their matchup. And I believe that is going to be the game at about 5:30. And what pool is New Zealand? They are a part of Pool A? Maybe? No, maybe not. They might be a part of Pool B, in fact. Because this is Pool C. So, yeah, they're a part of Pool B alongside South Africa. And Tuitama is either really good or sometimes makes really bad mistakes. Exactly right. Although that is one thing that kind of comes alongside being so young. You know, you want to make sure you're going out there and having those little moments that people remember you for, but then that can also come with a few bad mistakes like you mentioned. It can get you in trouble. And go Manu Samoa. Cheers, Peter, and cheers. Says Spacebar there as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, do let me know. Will they be coming back in this matchup? When is yours and George's disc golf stream? I didn't realize we were playing disc golf, Kiwi Gamer. I know that we were going to play it in real life. I didn't realize we were streaming it, though. It might be a video at some point. The weather's nice. Although it's raining at the moment, so not so nice. Come on, Samoa. There's Rose the Unicorn. Second half just about to get underway. Samoa down by 7. And they will be kicking off to the Irish to start the second half in Sydney. Okay, Ty. They need the first try of this match. That is certainly for sure. The first try of the second half, I should say. Now McNulty starts to run hard. Good tackle by Letufia, just drags him down on top of himself. And I believe that they've actually made an early change here for the Irish. McNamara, they've said he's off his feet. Motu Opitai, unlucky there. Close to the turnover, but Samoa, I've got plenty of time, 6.5 minutes left. It's doable, very doable. But Liam McNamara will be kicking this ball for the touchline off the left-hand boot. It's gone into touch nicely, about, I'd say, 30 metres out from the line. And why don't League Nines take off like Sevens and Union, says Xavier. I'm not sure, because I actually, anytime I play Rugby League Live 4, probably not the best example, but I do enjoy playing the Nines just because it opens up more space. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like an NRL Nines would actually, like, do they still do it or have they got rid of it? Because I quite enjoy watching it. Now Samoa, they managed to get that line out. Turnover, driving down the wing. Tui, Tama, high tackle from Kennedy. So they'll be going back for the initial tap. Nicely taken by Scanlon. Now running a hard. Samoa on the halfway line. They've got numbers on the outside, including Valvasa Afasua, who's dropped the ball 4 times. That man's hands, I think either he's put some jelly on them before the game or something, but they're not sticking at all for them. Nice was a preseason thing for NRL, but no one cared, says Xavier Brown. Now, off to the short side, McNamara driving forward. And this is where Afasua needs to make a big decision in terms of, that was a knock on from Ireland. They've said it's gone backwards. It's going to be Mark Roach now. The hands of McNulty. Yeah, I think Valvas Afasua needs to know that probably needs to go off the field for Samoa to have a good chance. Nothing against him as a player. It's just if you've dropped the ball 4 times, you really need to make sure that your team's still having the most benefit, which is probably having the sub on the field. Was that a sentence? I don't think it was. But it's exciting. It's the Sevens for the men's. That was a big offload. Falaniko now finds a pass on the outside. Numbers here for Samoa. And it'll be a good run from Malika, driving offload on the inside. Brilliantly done. And Leku Fea is going to be right place, right time for the support pass. Should be scoring between the sticks, and Samoa now back into the contest. And Noeli Letufia is the smallest player in the team, but he's really good. He has just scored the try for these Samoans as well. Samoa, Winko, the Manu says Manu Samoa, and also Letufia says the new age in there as well. But Valvasa Afasua, I didn't see him in that play. Instead, it was the other co-captain. Va'a Apilo Maliko just stays in the field of play. McNulty put in a good tackle, but didn't manage to shut down the offload game of Apilo Maliko. And it was Letufia who scored it. Let's go, Letufia, says Jason in there as well. So that will now make the score 12-all between these two sides. I mentioned Samoa needed to score first. They've done just that. Now it is all about continuing that momentum. And what you could do is ask for someone else to turn up, see if he arrives with all his golf clubs, and then say, it's disc golf we are playing. Says a Kiwi gamer. That would be very mean, wouldn't it? 17 out of their 21 games this season have been decided by 7 points or less for the Irish. I believe 1 or 2 of those other games were actually up against New Zealand. It's a bit of a fun fact there. Samoa. They actually are winless for their last 11 fixtures in Sydney, I believe the statistic was. That's gone high. Samoa looking to retain, and they've done just that. Now they've got the ball, and they've got a good attacking opportunity with 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. The attack, Tuna Tuitama goes on the inside to Falaniko. Well tackled there by Andrew Smith. Loose ball. Looks a bit scrappy from the Samoans at the moment, but now it's starting to look a lot more structured. Big bump off from, was that number 6? Yes, it was. It was Neolevaya, but the penalty goes to the Irish. That Fendo, he sent him backwards big time. That's for sure. Islanders might win. Says a Rose there. It's kicked him behind. Looking like it's going to drift towards the touchline, but Andrew Smith keeps it in the field of play. It's a loose ball. Everyone just has to try and jump on it. It's out the side. Andrew Smith almost taking it back. Penalty goes to the Irish. Now another quick tap from McNamara. Another chance here for Terry Kennedy. Still driving forward. Scoring this game currently 12-12, so not a lot of time left. What happened to our scoreboard? Kiwi Lad Lol says Asangi. I think it was on, wasn't it? It's only recently updated itself to the 12. And also we got the sad face from Rose the Unicorn. It's not over yet, but the Samoan 5 penalties has certainly been costing them in this fixture. Cannot afford to give the Irish that many opportunities. Pilomaliko just having a chat to the referee. What they saying? Wait. What are we looking here? That's the fend. Unfortunately, the tackle attempt was terrible from Ireland. I think that was McNamara who tried to tackle him while facing away from him, and he just got sent in there. But they are just showing Pilomaliko. One hand went down early, unfortunately, so that's what the penalty was for. And now the Irish. 10 metres out from the line, 2 minutes 20 left in this fixture. And it's anyone's contest. Whoever wins this will be sitting top of Pool C. We've still got a game coming up a little bit later on between USA and Spain. But McNulty gives it off to McNamara. Smacked hard in the tackle, I believe. That was by Malani Matavao. It's great to see him back for the Samoans, but he certainly doesn't want his first game. That is great work over the ball. Penalty. Goes the way of Ireland, though. I believe it was Malani Matavao in through the side. They've said now McNulty, wide cut out pass, rush defence. Roach dropped it. It's a double knock on. Falaniko also dropping that ball. If he hadn't, he was gone. Hi, says Amelia. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Come on, boys. You got this, says Jason, and the Samoan flags from Rose. So this is probably one of the last attacking opportunities we will see from the Samoans. They've got to make sure they make the most of the opportunity. Teresa said, come on, Samoa, and come on, Uso, says Asangi there. And you can see the disappointment on the Olivia's face because he knew that he needed to hang on to that ball. But it just slipped through. One more try, please, says Asangi. They have to travel 85 metres here, Samoa, if they do want to get themselves their last-minute try. They're going off to the left. Just got to make sure that they do continue to make metres rather than getting forced backwards. Cut on the inside. Good run from Nui. Well, in fact, it was Nui, sorry. They have that ball. Now Samoa. Ireland defending quite compact in the middle, so they are allowing the Samoans to go wide if they want it, and that is so that they can possibly force them into touch. Good step from Va'a Pilomaliko. Wrestled down, no clear release. Penalty goes to Samoa. 40 seconds left. Quick tap taken. Terrible pass. It's going to bounce 3 times before it goes to the first receiver. Now Matavao. One more on the outside. Samoa, they still have the option to go on wide to Nui if they want it. But Falaniko pins the ears back. Bumps out of one tackle of Terry Kennedy. Gets through another of Andrew Smith. And now Motuopitai. Ball on the outside. The cutter Olivia goes to Motuopitai. And he will score with 14 seconds left on the clock. The Samoans running it in Sydney. And the crowd are absolutely loving it. You can make it Samoa, says Teresa. And also the Samoan flags. And there is one more try, says Brandon. But the step from Falaniko set this move up. He was trying to break the ankles of a couple of the Irishmen. And then just breaking through enough, finding that offload. And it is the try for Motu Opitai. Beautiful, says Teresa. Exactly right. A brilliant finish to this match for the Samoans. And now they've got 1 out of their 3. I've got to go 3 with that because my fingers are stuck together at the moment. 1 out of 3. That could almost count as 1, so I guess it's like that. 1 out of 3 at the moment for the Samoans that they need. 17 points to 12. Next game's up against the USA. We will be covering that one tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to tune in for that. And then also, they've got their game a little bit later on where they will be playing Spain. We have got hooray in the chat from, it was Timo Kisa. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also the clapping from Peter Stowers Joe, who says the new age. And you're the one. Thank you, Kiwi lads, says Asangi. And also the win for the Samoans in year, says Kapoa. And there as well. But USA, they are now going to be taking on Spain. So the best case scenario here would actually be for the Spanish to cause an upset up against the USA. Because that way it helps out Samoa just that little bit more with confirming their spot in the quarterfinals. And in those quarterfinals, they'll probably have to face either New Zealand or South Africa. So that's going to be a pretty tough game. But we do have to get past the group stage first for the Manu Samoa. So ladies and gentlemen, the next game that we are covering, it will be South Africa versus Kenya. That one kicks off at about 5:05 p.m. New Zealand time. So be sure to check that one out. And New Samoa will win, says Rose. Although earlier on you did say Samoa could lose. But I guess deep down in your heart, you knew the Samoans would be able to get over the line. But yeah, that is the next one, South Africa, Kenya. And then after that one, we will be following it up with the matchup between Fiji and Tonga. And then after that one, we have then got the BBL tonight. A little bit of cricket with a guest. So be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you didn't enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Savai, has said yes to Manu. And yep, 1 down, 5 to go also. Thanks very much, Hamish, says King T. And Samoa need a goal kicker, man, says Unknown. That I do agree with to an extent. They seem to be leaving a lot of 2-pointers out there on the field. As you can see, 17 points to 12 means that they did end up missing 2 out of the 3 conversion attempts. And that actually means the only one they got over was the one straight out in front, which was a guaranteed. So they just need to get a couple more points over. We saw Falaniko. He absolutely smashed it from the 22 for his 22 dropout. So maybe wouldn't be a bad option there as well. And also, I love my Samoa team. Thanks, says to Makisa in there as well. But yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. We will see you all in about, I'd say, 20, 25 minutes time for the next matchup between Kenya and South Africa, who Samoa play next. They will be playing the USA tomorrow morning. So that game will be starting. I'll quickly get you the time. It's at 11:22 a.m. The next game for Samoa tomorrow morning on the Saturday. And then their later game is on up against the Spanish. That is at 4:43 p.m. tomorrow as well. So 11:22, we will actually be covering that game on the channel. That will be the only morning session game, I believe, that we have actually got coming up tomorrow. And we will be doing that game and then heading straight out and actually playing a game of cricket in real life, which feels a bit weird, but what the plan is. And then we'll be coming home, doing some more, and we'll get to catch Samoa in their quarterfinals if they do make it that far through. And the Blues name change, liking it. Let's go, Manu, says Blues Nate. And there is well. Okay, thanks, says Rose. No worries at all. What time? So up against the USA, it's 11:22 a.m. that they will be playing. But yeah, the next game that we have got, it's going to be South Africa playing up against the Kenyans. That game has taken place in 18 minutes' time. So be sure to check that one out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, sure leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all back in 15 minutes' time for South Africa